I have no idea, man. We're talking about time travel here. Either it's all a joke or none of it is.
From ancient artifacts to modern-day oddities, these intriguing stories challenge our understanding of history and science.
I time traveled to the future on multiple occasions during my work with the British government.
Dive into 20 mysteries that keep time travel enthusiasts guessing. Number 20. The flip phone. At the 1962 World Cup, where Brazil defeated Czechoslovakia, an unusual event unfolded, not on the football field, but in a photograph that became a historical curiosity. The intended subject of the image was the jubilant Brazilian captain Mauro Ramos, raising the trophy in victory. However, something unexpected caught the eye of those examining the photo, an oddity that, once noticed, was hard to ignore. Amid the media crowd, a person appeared to be holding a device that looked strikingly like a modern flip phone. The confusion grew as people realized that flip phones, a hallmark of the late 20th century, didn't appear until around 1996, decades after the 1962 World Cup. This inconsistency led to a flurry of questions, sparking a compelling theory. Could this be proof of time travel? The mystery prompted speculation that this individual had somehow traveled from the future, perhaps from the era of the Motorola Razr in 2007. Others, however, suggested a more straightforward explanation. The device might simply be a boxy camera that looked like a futuristic gadget. Number 19. Rudolph Fentz. Rudolph Fentz was a mysterious figure whose existence was shrouded in uncertainty. His story remained a puzzle with only sparse details to hint at who he was, until an unusual incident in 1951 brought him into the spotlight. In that year, Fentz, dressed in clothing that seemed to belong to the 19th century, was found in the bustling streets of New York City. The stark contrast between his outdated outfit and the modern cityscape raised eyebrows, leading to questions about this apparent temporal anomaly. As investigators probed Fentz's history, they stumbled upon a chilling fact. He had disappeared without a trace in 1876, leaving a mysterious gap in the timeline. The oddity grew as they examined the objects found in Fentz's possession. Each item, carefully kept in his clothing, hinted at a journey through time, a journey that spanned from 1876 to 1951. Number 18. Peculiar claims. In 2018, a man named Edward caused a stir with a bold claim. He said he had traveled to the future. To support his astonishing story, Edward revealed a photograph showing Los Angeles submerged under vast stretches of water. The tale, which blended elements of science fiction with supposed reality, began 14 years earlier, when Edward, chosen from among billions, joined a secret project. This clandestine mission catapulted him forward in time to the year 5000. As he recounted his experience, Edward told of a shadowy government that had gathered a group of brilliant scientists to conduct experiments that would seem extraordinary to the average person. Edward, while exploring this new timeline, revealed that by the year 5000, global warming had led to a devastating flood.
And immediately gave him the camera and told about everything I saw and observed in the year 5000. And now the most interesting information. Here is it. The photo of the flooded city.
A photograph he presented showed a dystopian scene with Los Angeles' towering skyscrapers submerged, turning the city into an underwater world like a sunken Antarctica. Number 17. Alexander Smith. Alexander Smith released a startling video on a well-known YouTube channel where he discussed the CIA, his own life, and time travel. He claimed to be on the run from the CIA because he knew information that was supposed to be kept secret. The purpose of his video, he said, was to reveal that the authorities are hiding many things from the public and that time travel has existed for a while. As proof, he showed a photograph that he claimed was taken in the year 2118, which depicted several tall buildings with peculiar green lighting.
This picture was taken in the year 2118.
Smith didn't mention which city it was, but he cautioned that a more advanced civilization would soon arrive on Earth. Smith said these future visitors should not be feared, as their mission is to guide humanity toward significant progress. His face bore numerous scars, which he stated were from his experiences with time travel. Overall, his appearance was quite unusual, even somewhat off-putting to some viewers. Among those who watched his 20-minute video, only a few believed his claims. Number 16. William Taylor. A Brit named William Taylor set out to prove he was a time traveler by recording a video in which he discussed his journeys to the future. To bolster his claim, he was hooked up to a lie detector during the recording.
As you can see, we have the lie detector hooked up, which measures breathing and heart rate, among other things.
In the video, he asserted that time travel experiments had been underway for some time, and that by 2028, the public would finally learn the truth. Taylor's first reported journey was in 1981. He later claimed to have traveled to the years 3000 and 8973.
I time travelled to the future on multiple occasions during my work with the British government. My trip to the year 3000 was quite a bit different than my trip to the year 8973, where the latter could only be likened to a utopia.
In 3000, he found no human life, hinting at a global catastrophe without knowing its cause. In 8973, he encountered unidentified creatures resembling humanoid robots with large heads and eyes. Despite having a lie detector in his video, most viewers doubted Taylor's claims, as no polygraph expert was seen. Number 15. Phantom Hotel. In 1979, two British couples took a road trip through France on their way to a Spanish resort. After a long drive, they decided to stop in the small town of Montélimar to find a hotel. An elderly man appeared and directed them to a hotel in an old building with grand columns. Inside, they were surprised to find the interior and the guests dressed as if it were 100 years in the past. They settled in and noticed there were no other buildings or roads in sight. The night went smoothly, and the bill for their stay was just a few dollars. However, when they returned from Spain and tried to stay at the same hotel, they couldn't find it. Locals told them no such hotel existed. Even stranger, while all their vacation photos turned out fine, those taken in front of the hotel were blank. The couples believed they might have traveled back in time and spent a night in a ghost hotel. Number 14. Lost Women. Two women stumbled into a time trap, becoming part of one of the most puzzling events of the early 20th century. In 1901, Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, two longtime friends, were visiting the Palace of Versailles when they became lost in the park. As they tried to find their way out, they followed a series of winding paths and eventually met some gardeners who assured them they were on the right track and would soon reach the exit. However, moments later, their surroundings changed dramatically. According to Moberly and Jourdain, they grew increasingly fearful as everything around them seemed distorted. The trees were twisted, and there was no light, shadow, or wind. The scene felt lifeless and empty. Suddenly, they encountered a man sitting on a bench who looked rather unpleasant and seemed like he was from the 18th century. After this, they met a young, handsome man to whom they asked for directions to leave the park. He directed them to take the right path, leading them to a woman dressed in a style resembling that of Marie Antoinette. This woman invited them to a wedding celebration in a hall, and after the festivities, a carriage with a coachman took them back to Paris. Number 13. Paul Amadeus Dienach. In 1921, a Swiss teacher named Paul Dienach fell into a coma for a year. When he regained consciousness, he started writing diary entries but kept their content to himself. It wasn't until he contacted one of his students to help translate the diaries that the truth came out. These entries were not typical. They told a remarkable story. Paul claimed that during his coma, he woke up in the year 3906 AD as a man named Andrew Northman, a renowned physician who had also just emerged from a coma. Paul believed that during their accidents, their bodies had somehow swapped. Paul's diary included predictions. He wrote that Earth would colonize Mars in about 200 years, but a natural disaster would occur, wiping out the 20 million people living there. He also foresaw a global war happening about 100 years later, which would devastate the planet, but eventually lead to a global union. This union, according to him, would result in significant improvements in the quality of life across the world. The entries were strikingly detailed, and Paul seemed to genuinely believe what he wrote. Interestingly, he never intended for anyone to read them. It was only after he shared them with his students that the journals were published, unveiling Paul's story. If he hadn't done that, he might have kept the story to himself. Number 12. Dave Hill. In 2003, Dave Hill, a computer programmer in Iowa, started receiving some peculiar emails. Though marked as spam, these weren't typical junk messages. They came from a man named Bob White, offering $5,000 to anyone who could provide a list of bizarre items, including an AMD dimensional warp generator and a time-transducing capacitator. Hill, intrigued by the unusual request, decided to respond, claiming he could get the items. He went as far as photoshopping an online store and sending White a box with an old motor, claiming it was the warp generator. Hill expected White to reveal it was all a joke, but he didn't. Instead, White thanked him for sending the parts and asked for more assistance in obtaining additional items. Realizing how serious White was about his mission, Hill decided to end his prank. As these emails circulated and drew attention, the man behind them was identified as Robert J. Tadino, a man in his early 20s who genuinely believed in time travel. Some of his emails indicated he was a time traveler from 2003, while others suggested he wanted to travel through time, creating uncertainty about his intentions. Tadino claimed to have sent over 100 million emails, indicating he was either serious about time travel or just interested in it. He insisted he was completely sane and his mental health was fine, which at times seemed believable, as he often appeared quite rational. However, it was later disclosed that he had been diagnosed with various mental illnesses. It's unclear how many emails Tadino personally sent and how many were sent by others claiming to be time travelers. Despite the ambiguity, this story remains one of the most intriguing spam email cases in recent decades. Number 11. Father Francois Brune. In 2002, a French Catholic priest and writer named Father Francois Brune published a book titled The Vatican's New Mystery. The book detailed the work of an Italian priest and scientist, Pellegrino Ernetti, who claimed to have built a machine called the Chronovisor with a team of scientists. This device was supposedly able to detect the radioactive frequencies of past events and recreate them in real time, allowing users to view historical moments as if they were happening live. Ernetti said he used the Chronovisor to witness several historical events, including a Roman theater performance from 169 BC and even the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. He also claimed to have taken a photograph of Jesus, which was allegedly leaked in 1972. However, skeptics pointed out that the photo closely resembled a sculpture made around the same time, raising doubts about its authenticity. Number 10. The Swiss Watch. In December 2008, archaeologists made a discovery that sparked intrigue among both scientific and paranormal communities. While excavating a sealed tomb in Shaanxi, China, which hadn't been opened for over 400 years, they found a modern artifact, a tiny gold watch no bigger than a ring, with the word Swiss inscribed on its back. Since the tomb dates back to the Ming Dynasty, the presence of a watch that appeared to be from the 1940s was puzzling. How could something so recent end up in a centuries-old tomb? The initial reaction was disbelief. The artifact was labeled an U-part, or out-of-place artifact, referring to items that don't seem to fit within their historical context. Theories quickly surfaced to explain the watch's presence. Time travel enthusiasts suggested that this was evidence of time travelers accidentally leaving behind an object from the future. Skeptics, on the other hand, proposed that the tomb might have been reopened and resealed later, but the lack of signs of tampering made this explanation less likely. The Swiss watch in a Ming Dynasty tomb raises more questions than it answers, challenging our conventional understanding of history and technology. Even if one dismisses the idea of time travel, the artifact prompts speculation about advanced civilizations or individuals far ahead of their time. Alternatively, it might hint at a complex network of timelines that we're yet to grasp. Number 9. Noah the Time Traveler. Apex TV is a YouTube channel that interviews a variety of people who claim to be from the future. One of their most frequent guests is a man named Noah, whose first video appeared in 2017. Noah claims to be a time traveler from the year 2030 who is stuck in the present.
I became obsessed. I emailed Apex TV every day saying that I was a time traveler from the future.
He also makes several predictions, including the claim that time travel will be publicly available by 2028. Noah asserts that the technology already exists, but is being kept secret. Since his debut, Noah has made dozens of videos with Apex TV attempting to prove the validity of his story. In these videos, he conducts interviews, takes lie detector tests, and shows the audience items that he says are from the future, like pages from a library, future maps of America, and examples of nanotechnology. He also makes videos predicting the future of countries like Canada, India, and the UK. Number 8. The Hipster. The Hipster of 1,941 inches is a photograph that has intrigued historians and time travel enthusiasts alike. At first glance, it seems ordinary, but upon closer examination, it becomes more perplexing. The photo, taken at the reopening of the South Forks Bridge in British Columbia, shows a crowd at the event. Among them is a man who looks out of place, dressed in what seems to be modern clothing, a logo t-shirt, sunglasses, and holding a portable camera, surrounded by people dressed in typical 1940s fashion. The stark difference in attire has led many to speculate that this man could be a time traveler who accidentally landed in 1941 with clothing and technology from another era. His outfit, a modern-looking t-shirt, wraparound sunglasses, and portable camera, doesn't seem to fit in with the 1940s. The most compelling explanation against this theory involves the t-shirt. While it seems modern due to the logo, screen-printed shirts were around by the 1940s, suggesting the logo might have been from that period, just not widely recognized. Despite these rationalizations, the photo continues to spark debate. The hipster of 1941 does seem out of place, and even if each item he wears can be explained, finding all these items on one person in 1941 is unusual. For many, the fascination with the photo isn't necessarily because it proves time travel, but because it represents an intriguing possibility. It hints that timelines could intersect, history might not be as straightforward as we believe, and anomalies could provide a glimpse into a reality that's more complex than we imagine. Number 7. Greta Thunberg. Thunberg, a well-known environmental activist, rose to prominence from the streets of Stockholm. Born in 2003, her ascent to global fame began at just 16 years old. A key moment occurred when she stood in front of the Swedish Parliament building, holding a sign, and announced a strike. Greta's dedication was unmistakable. She pledged to skip school until the authorities took global warming seriously and committed to the Paris Agreement. By 2019, the story took an unusual twist. Blogger Jack Strange posted an old photograph from 1898 featuring 3 children of different ages. One of the girls in the photo bore a striking resemblance to Greta Thunberg, with similar facial expressions, face shape, round eyes, and twin braids. This unexpected resemblance led to a wave of astonishment. It appeared as if someone had photoshopped Greta's face into the historical image. As this uncanny similarity spread among Jack's followers, playful speculations arose. Could Greta be more than just an activist? Could she be a time traveler? This humorous idea entertained the possibility that her unique presence might be explained by traveling through time. Number 6. Hadron Collider. Envision a colossal scientific wonder buried 500 feet underground. The Large Hadron Collider, LHC, the world's most powerful particle accelerator, consisting of a 27-kilometer ring of superconducting magnets. This intricate machinery is a testament to human ingenuity, a complex creation that's not easily understood. The LHC's primary aim is to unravel the mysteries of the elusive Higgs boson, often called the God particle because of its role in giving mass to other particles. However, beyond the pursuit of the Higgs boson, the LHC holds a tantalizing prospect, the possibility of creating black holes and, even more astonishingly, facilitating time travel. This theory involves the creation of a second particle known as the Higgs singlet. If the LHC succeeds in producing the Higgs boson, these singlets could jump into what physicists refer to as the fifth dimension. In this dimension, they might be able to move through time, appearing in the past or the future. Number 5. Time-traveling shoe. In the intriguing world of historical anomalies that challenge the conventional flow of chronological history, there's a footprint, an extraordinary imprint that has left historians and scientists perplexed. This is no ordinary footprint. It's a fossilized shoe print embedded in rock, believed to be about 200 million years old. The discovery of such an ancient shoe print has sparked waves of speculation, capturing imaginations and raising numerous questions. How can a shoe print, indicating human presence, exist in such an ancient period? For advocates of time travel theories, this shoe print is seen as strong evidence, proof that people from a more advanced timeline ventured into the distant past and left behind this unique mark. However, the scientific community approaches this strange anomaly with caution, offering alternative explanations to counter the time travel hypothesis. Some experts suggest the shoe print might be a natural formation, erosion, pressure, and time creating a shape that resembles a shoe print. Another theory is that it could be a modern footprint that underwent rapid sedimentation and fossilization, challenging traditional geological timelines. Number 4. Nicolas Cage's doppelganger. Imagine finding an unusual eBay listing, a Civil War-era portrait priced at a whopping $1 million. What could make a portrait so valuable? Perhaps one that appears to show the famous action star Nicolas Cage seemingly transported back to 1870, a visual contrast that fuels the imagination and raises questions. The story goes that the enigmatic portrait was supposedly taken in Bristol, Tennessee, adding a touch of historical mystery to the mix. The identity of the man in the photo remains unknown, enhancing the intrigue. When the portrait surfaced online and quickly went viral, Jack Moore, the bold eBay seller behind the listing, added a humorous twist to the speculation, playfully suggesting that Nicolas Cage could have been a vampire in a past life.
The guy's theory is that you look exactly the same now, and therefore that makes you a vampire. Right.
Nicolas Cage himself dismissed this idea, clarifying that he neither drinks blood nor lacks a reflection when he looks in a mirror. Nonetheless, the striking resemblance between the unknown man in the portrait and the well-known Hollywood actor adds a compelling layer of fascination, leading people to ponder odd coincidences and the mysteries of time. This bizarre blend of celebrity, historical imagery, and playful conjecture creates a narrative that captures the imagination. Number 3. Modern device. Art can mirror society, capturing moments and presenting mysteries. One such mystery has excited time travel enthusiasts, a painting that appears to show a woman holding a modern smartphone. The painting, titled The Expected One, was created by Austrian artist Ferdinand Georg Waldmüller in the 1860s. At first glance, it seems like a young woman is walking with her head bowed in prayer, holding a small box. However, the box looks like a modern smartphone, as if she were reading a text or viewing a photo. Despite this uncanny resemblance, art historians suggest a more grounded explanation. The box could be a hymn book or small Bible, common in religious-themed art of that era. The supposed glow from the device might simply be the sheen from gilded pages, but the idea of the painting as evidence of time travel persists, tapping into a collective desire to believe in the impossible. Number 2. Astronaut sculpture. An intriguing image of an astronaut sculpted into the Cathedral of St. Joram in Salamanca, Spain, has sparked curiosity and debate online. The cathedral was built in the 18th century, so the depiction of an astronaut complete with ribbed soles seems out of place. This has led many to question how such a futuristic symbol could appear on a historical site. An official theory suggests that a restorer added the astronaut during renovations in the late 20th century, perhaps as a way to leave a personal touch. However, this explanation hasn't stopped conspiracy theories from emerging, with some suggesting that the astronaut might be evidence of time travel. Number 1. Ancient Egypt's jet. Ancient Egyptian culture, with its iconic pyramids and sphinx, has long intrigued people. One particular mystery involves the hieroglyphs in the Temple of Seti Ritren in Abydos, which appear to resemble modern-day machinery. These ancient carvings, etched into limestone walls, seem to depict a helicopter, a submarine, a spaceship, and even a fighter jet standing out amid traditional hieroglyphs. Proponents of ancient astronaut theories and time travel find these carvings groundbreaking. They suggest that ancient Egyptians might have been visited by beings from the future or other worlds who shared advanced technology that was then depicted in the carvings. An alternative explanation involves Egyptian carving practices, where new carvings were sometimes superimposed on older inscriptions, creating these unusual images. These are 20 of the time travel mysteries that demand an explanation. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Till then, take care.